So good morning, Excellencies, GSA partners, colleagues, and of course, young change makers. My name is Soledad Patiño. I am coordinating the Global Skills Academy mission, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here with you today, particularly in this very special place. And I would like to thank the Learning Planet Institute team and particularly FOTSA today for having us here to celebrate the World Youth Skills Day and the anniversary of the Global Skills Academy. So, as you have heard over the sessions before today, we're marking very special anniversaries of both the Global Skills Academy and the World Youth Skills Day, and we're going to have here the Global Skills Academy spotlight session, so you learn more about our journey across these 5 years. And the objective of the session is to reflect about what we have been doing and what's the impact that we have reached together with the partners, and mostly to reflect about the journey that is left. As you know, we have a very big goal, and you will learn about it as well. In order to see how we can reflect together and see how we can collaborate further to reach it. So this year's theme, as you heard, is A skills for the AI generation. So we had very rich discussions with the youth group. So today, now we're going to hear more about the journey of the Global Skills Academy. And without further ado, please enjoy this presentation and very short video before we start.
5 years ago, UNESCO launched the Global Skills Academy mission under the Global Education Coalition in response to an urgent need. To equip youth and adults with the skills required to navigate an uncertain and fast-changing world. Today, that urgency is even greater. Nearly 450 million young people lack the skills to succeed in the labor market, and 86% of employers expect AI to reshape jobs by 2030. Global Skills Academy is UNESCO's platform to help meet this moment. It supports countries, institutions, and individuals in delivering training in digital and emerging technologies, entrepreneurship, green skills, and core life competencies, with a strong focus on the needs and aspirations of young people. To date, the Global Skills Academy mission has reached more than 1 million learners in over 60 countries through collaboration with a growing network of partners, including the private sector, and by leveraging over 230 UNEVOC TVET centers and UNESCO field offices around the globe. As we mark this 5th anniversary, we reaffirm our ambition to reach 10 million learners by 2030 and to scale our collective action to close the global skills gap and build more inclusive, resilient, and future-ready societies. Because partnerships are not only how we operate, they are how we succeed.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you and to celebrate World Youth Skills Day with you today. It was a very interesting journey to organize this celebration, global celebration of World Youth Skills Day together with UNESCO-UNEVOC International Center. So I'm based in Paris, as you know, Chief of the Section for Youth, Literacy and Skills Development, where the Global Skills Academy is somewhere located in under the leadership of the Division for Policy and Lifelong Learning System. Today, and time I know is short, but I will share with you a snapshot about the Global Skills Academy, because it was recalled since the beginning, opening speech from ADG Stefania Giannini. It's now 5 years that it was launched in 2020. And so we have we have a treasure in our hands that we should further leverage based on all what was achieved in last years, in the 5 years. So we have a baby, but a baby, a very active baby, who is able to not only walk but to run, and we want him to accelerate in the next year to reach our ambitious targets that I will recall. So my presentation will be about from where we come, where we are, and where we want to go. It was recalled, as I said, we come from, the launch of the Global Skills Academy in 2020 in a situation where the world was facing a big crisis against the COVID-19 pandemic. You well know 1.6 billion students were affected by the schools disruption in the world. UNESCO engaged very quickly key action to fight this situation, at least to monitor the situation, how COVID-19 was evolving, but also to put in place this Global Skills Academy as a response to find some solution to avoid even more, or to avoid this disruption in schools. And when I say school, it includes, of course, TVET institution. At this time, we launched some surveys with ILO and other international partners, and we were very aware how far TVET institutions were disrupted. So that's why the Global Skills Academy was a response to provide basically online courses to learners who were excluded from schools, TVET institution learning, and provide them with employability skills globally, and meaning at least digital skills at this time, but now we are able to provide largely more. So as I said, it was a UNESCO response placed under the overall framework of the Global Education Coalition, who has taken care and still take care of teacher, schools, but GSA is more focused on employability skills for learners and students. And we are now at 5 years with a lot of engagement, more and more from private sector, but also from multilateral organizations such as ILO, OECD, and we will hear from them today how they work with us and how we can enhance our partnership. For now, we have large number of partners engaged in the global education. It was recalled more than 230, but as it was said also, it's not only about numbers, it's how we cooperate, how we can have together some impacts in the countries to reach the most ambitious target. Just to recall, at UNESCO, of course, we have this Global Skills Academy, which is not something isolated. It's connected to all other actions that we have on TVET, and it's fully linked to the UNESCO strategy for technical and vocational education and training for the period 2022. So it was launched 2 years after the Global Skills Academy. So our new strategy, of course, took into account the first phase of the GSA, but also how we can leverage this GSA even better and to reach ambitious targets by 2030. You will know, but if you don't know, our strategy are 3 main pillars, objectives, which are to develop skills for individuals, develop skills for economies, and skills for society. So you can see that the GSA is fully linked to these 3 pillars because we empower youth. So that's a direct, objective to reach youth directly. But also it contributes to build, as I said, employability skills. So it contributes to build even more inclusive and sustainable economies, and with an overall impact to reinforce skills for societies. And that's the link also that we have in our strategy. It's to link with the SDG 17 about partnerships. That's a key parameter aspect of the Global Skills Academy. We want really to further build partnership synergy so that we can be even more efficient in the impact that we want to reach. And of course, the focus that we have still on SDG 4 for education, and notably regarding the target 4.3 and 4.4 on access and learning outcomes for TVET, and it's also linked to SDG 8 on decent employment. So, as I try to recall, we came from an emergency response in 2020, but along the year, we shift the model. I mean, we adjusted given the lesson learned and also the capacities that we have had to adjust the relevance of the Global Skills Academy. So from this emergency situation, we moved to other phase, notably with a more demand-driven approach. We want really to base the offer of the Global Skills Academy with the needs that you have, all youth here, but also connected and in the world. That's why all the surveys that were shared just before, but also what François recalls in the beginning in the opening speech. I mean, all the platforms that can be leveraged through AI to better understand the needs of the youth are critical, because then we can see how the Global Skills Academy can respond to these needs. So more demand-driven approach, but also a scale-up approach. Our ambition is to reach 10 million youth by 2030. So I will share about where we are and how we want to increase. And we should define, identify the most relevant mechanism to be able to reach our targets. For now, and it was recalled a bit in the video, but we reach already a significant number of youth through the Global Skills Academy. In December 2024, it was more than 1,200,000 learners reached by the GSA in more than 63 countries. And you can see that we have, of course, a big attention to Africa. For UNESCO, Africa is a priority. We have also attention to, of course, gender equality, inclusion as a key priority for UNESCO, and also small island development states as a priority. But you can see 18 countries reach in Africa, 10 in Latin America and the Caribbean, and other regions. So it's already very significant, but as I said, we want to engage more. For this, we have brilliant partners with us, not mentioning, because if I start to mention, I will exclude some of them. But we have more than 25 partners for now in the Global Skills Academy, and we work with more than 170 TVET institutions from across the world, from notably the UNEVOC network. And our focus are on the 4 squares that you can see at the bottom of the slide. Of course, digital skills remain at the heart because it's very relevant to the needs of the youth, and we can learn from the surveys that it confirms as well. We mobilize, I mean, several actions. Could be through Microsoft, through KPMG, IBM, and others to provide digital skills to learners. Green skills is of high intention. We work, for example, with Festo on green skills, mentoring with KPMG, with others. We had action in India, and in other countries. And entrepreneur skills is also in our portfolio to reinforce skills for youth. I talk about the partners. I not mention here you have the 25 partners, so you can see, I mean, of course, big tech companies engaged in the GSA, but also international organizations. I mentioned beforehand ILO and OECD, who will be with us today. But you can see KPMG, Pocy Group, who are with us today. Tablet Academy and other partners who are Huawei, of course. Cisco, we work with them a lot in Latin America and Paraguay. So we have many partners. And I like this logo, but it seems a bit isolated. What we want to have is, of course, to partners with each of the partners bilaterally, but also to ensure cooperation between the partners and group of partners with UNESCO to be even more efficient. So that doesn't show all the way we want to cooperate with the partners, but it gives you the partners that we have. So roadmap for 25 to 2030. As I said, we want to reach 10 million by 2023. And for this, we should build on the asset, the foundations that we have. Of course, we have the UNEVOC network, which is something that we will continue to leverage. We should link with all the action related to Agenda 2023. So we should reinforce the alignment with this agenda. We should reinforce the collaborative culture that I mentioned for the cooperation as an example between partners. And we should leverage also the UNESCO's global network that we have as UNESCO chair over networks of the schools that we can leverage. And we should, as I said, continue to have a big attention to a more demand-driven approach, but also to focus on the priorities for UNESCO about Africa and gender equality, to be able to train about skills development with a better alignment with the labor market needs, to try to reach a global scales, to ensure sustainability, because as you well understand from the beginning, we move from an emergency phase to a more sustainable and long-term platform for the GSA. And of course, we should reinforce quality assurance mechanism to be able to monitor and evaluate the progress of the GSA. Here you have the figure from where we come, where we are, and where we want to go. So we did a strong analysis about the data that we had, and as I recall, we were almost at 1,200,000 learners reached by the GSA at the end of December 2024, which was, and it has to be celebrated, an acceleration comparing to the annual growth of the former years, because you can see that we increased of almost 40% in 2024. But if we do the projection until 2030, you can see that we are almost on track with the acceleration that we have last year, but also we should accelerate a bit to reach an annual growth of almost 44%, which will make us able to reach the 10 millions by 2030. So that's our ambition. That's the way we want to move ahead in terms of quantitative targets and milestones for our strategy. And this strategy is not new. It's something that we built some years ago, and we evaluate and we readjust, giving the lesson learned that we have in implementing action through the GSA. But we have to know how we will do it. It's not only projection for the years and in the sky. We have to identify the levers that could make us able to reach these targets every year. So here you have the main ones that we want to activate even more. So first, about resource mobilization, that's a key one. I mean, we need muscles, we need funds to be able to implement the GSA, because it's an ambitious platform project, program that has to be implemented. We should also adapt to the local languages. We know that many actions in the countries, I mean, has to be contextualized to the, of course, social and economic needs and context, but also to the languages. So if we are able to do so, we can reach millions more of youth. We should do also advocacy campaigns when possible. Could be through digital campaigns, community engagement. And for this, we can leverage some networks like ambassador networks. We had ambassadors today in the room. We have also representatives from Kenya. So all these networks are important. And we did some support we provided some support to Kenya, to India recently, and we will hear from these. And let's just take lesson learned from this to see how we can scale up these actions. We should work on innovation in learning, enhancing platform features, and introduce, for example, gamification and interactive contents. That could be also a way to reach our target. Of course, institutional partnership are key. The best we can connect the GSA in the country with the national education strategy, or at least on TVET, the more we will ensure the sustainability of the GSA and also to be able to reach millions of people. And of course, the digital infrastructure is key. Internet, the link with partners with telecom providers. It could be Orange, it could be others in the countries, could help us to better work in reaching our goals. And we should have a geographic expansion. So you well saw that in Africa we were active. There is a huge potential in Africa, but also in other regions. We work in Asia, but maybe not enough. So let's see how we can reinforce the support in this region. We started in Latin America and Caribbean, and so let's further expand. So that's why I wanted to share with you, but being here, you see all these levers that we will push forward. And I want to announce two very positive action and perspective for the Global Skills Academy, on which we will discuss in the next session. First, about the resource mobilization that is increasing, and I would like to thank really Pocy Group for the support they are providing to us. I just learned 1 hour ago that we received your contribution to support the scale-up of the Global Skills Academy, but also so scale-up as a key action, but also the support for scholarships in some region, Africa, Latin America, but also in a small island development states. So thank you really for your support. And second announcement is on our cooperation with KPMG. And thanks really to KPMG because you were able to cooperate with us in the last month, and it will continue, about a new initiative on which we will now share the insights. So thanks, colleagues Donna and others. That's up here.
Thank you very much, Hervé. So in that note, now we move to this very important milestone of the session, the launch of the Skills for the Future initiative under the scope of the Global Skills Academy. And for this, before we start the presentation, we're going to watch a very short video as well. Thank you, Hervé.
The world is facing a critical skills gap, and quality education has never been more urgent. As technology transforms the world of work, millions of young people risk being left behind. Many organizations are stepping up with meaningful efforts to develop the skills of young people around the world. But by working collectively and strategically, we could achieve so much more. UNESCO Global Skills Academy, supported by KPMG International, have launched the Global Platform for Skills for the Future, a one-stop resource that brings together the large-scale efforts of the private sector, civil society, and youth to bridge the skills gap and empower the next generation. Sharing the latest data and global insights, the platform fosters collaboration, highlights gaps, tracks progress, and shares best practices, transforming individual efforts into collective impact to deliver quality education, lifelong learning opportunities, and future-ready skills for all. Get involved. Share your contribution. Showcase your skills initiative. And join a global community building youth skills for improved employability, economic empowerment, and resilience. Let's build the skills for the future together.
I'm very pleased to invite Mrs. Donna, who is Director of Global Impact Team from KPMG, and again, Hervé, to present more insights
That and that's a way, I mean, to show the positive way of our partnership to be together to present about this new initiative, as you learned from the short video, and we will present you more in depth on what is about exactly and how it can work. So we'll start by, I will go into a few slides, but also, of course, Donna will go more in depth in the presentation. Does it work?
2 seconds. Now
Yeah.
it is.
So as you have heard from the videos, the new initiative is about skills for the future. It's about also more technology, speaking about a platform that we want to put in place, and it's already almost here. And you will see how you can engage as partners, I mean, active in skills development. Why we launch this initiative and what is about? Because we have a huge gap to face in terms of skills development. We hear from some figures at the beginning, at least the large number of needs who is very high. I mean, almost 20% of the youth are needs. So it's a huge number. We have very low skills, foundational skills are very low for many youth, so it's an issue to enter in the labor market. Of course, we heard that almost as Stefania recalled, 500 million of youth lack the relevant skills to enter and to navigate in a very fast changing labor market. So we should work on these type of skills. And I mean, to enhance the relevance of the TVET system and for learners to enter in the labor market. And of course, it's linked to the Global Skills Academy. I won't say that nothing new. That's very brilliant to have this platform, but it builds from what we learn from the Global Skills Academy about what I just raised before. First, the partnership that we want to enhance, to strengthen, with new partners engaged in skills development in the next year. It's about also contributing to the overall global agenda for education, so SDG 4 again, and of course SDG 8 about decent work, and I raise about partnership. So we hope that these skills for and we are convinced that these skills for the future platforms will be a great asset to bring additional partners than the one that we have already in the GSA to enhance not only the number, but the quality of the partnership that we can build to have a better impact. So that's how we want to move, and Donna will give also more detail on these, on the dashboard, on the goals that we want to reach, and how we will do it. So what is the voluntary commitment? Because this platform and that we want to build is about collecting all the voluntary commitments from various partners in the world. So we have the one from the GSA, but we map all these commitments, and we try to integrate them in a platform so that we can analyze and enhance partnership. So all commitments that we map are about lifelong learning perspective. It's about improved employability and economic empowerment. And it's linked to more specific areas on which these partners are working. It could be on funding digital literacy program. It could be about partnering to reach a need, training youth entrepreneurs, and supporting women in STEM. So it's all what we consider in our mapping and analysis of these new partners that we want to engage with. What are the quality commitments that we are considering? There are 5. First, they should be focused. Of course, there are big announcements about numbers, but the more they are focused, could be geographically, it could be in terms of target, in terms of thematic that they want to support. The more we are disaggregated data that could help us to to move ahead in the partnership through the Global Skills Academy. Of course, they should be quantifiable. So that's where the issue or the opportunities about data is very important, because we should also be able to monitor and evaluate the progress in implementing this commitment. It should be feasible. It's not just having wish, but it's something that should be reachable and feasible. It should be, of course, purpose driven, as it was just recalled before, in terms of the thematic that we consider, and it should be time frame. Of course, our objective is to have a very clear idea by the end of the actual global agenda for education, decent work, so all the SDG. So by 2030 is something ideal, but we should have a time frame for these commitments, so that they don't remain as a global wish. Now I give the floor to Donna, with my pleasure, and big thanks for this cooperation.
Thank you so much, Hervé. And good afternoon, everyone. I think it's just afternoon. We've ticked over midday. I'm delighted to be here on behalf of KPMG International, and we are especially delighted to partner with our very important partner, UNESCO, on this platform. So I'm just going to, there we go, they're working. Often from a corporate perspective, when we look to do some work supporting SDG 4, we start by trying to identify a community organization or a not-for-profit that is already doing great work in this space and where we can align our objectives. We then partner, of course, to collaborate and hopefully lead to some great outcomes. That's not that hard to identify a not-for-profit, because there's many, many great community organizations out there doing work in the education space. What is difficult is understanding the ecosystems of organizations that are focused on SDG 4. So who else is focusing on SDG 4? What are they doing? Importantly, what are they not doing? What are the gaps? And then where should we as an organization actually focus our resources and our support to create impact? So not to duplicate, but to create significant impact where the need exists. And that's exactly what this platform is trying to address. And UNESCO have made it very easy for us. So thank you to UNESCO and all the hard work that you've done. So the platform is very, very simple. You share your existing contributions. So you don't need to come up with new commitments, go through a significant and rigorous process. You can just upload the commitments that you already share on your website or on your annual impact plans or sustainability reports. Once that information is up there, it is so much easier to collaborate and enhance and amplify each other's work. We can see what each other are doing and we can build on that. As you would have seen in the video, there's the opportunity to track the global progress and see some of that data, and of course mobilize our efforts as well. So it's a one-stop shop that contains all of that information that allows us to have the most impactful outcomes. The version that we have going live today focuses on 8 of the GSA partners, and thank you to those 8 organizations who've worked with those in this kind of initial pilot stage. And although it's 8 organizations, it already shows a target audience of about 30 million students, which is really significant just from those innate initial 8 initial pilot organizations. And those students are based across 149 different countries around the world. So already you can see some really impactful information. There's now going to be a short video, very short, that does a bit of a demo on what it looks like. So you can get a bit of a sense about what you can see when you go onto the website. So I'm going to do this, and I'm hoping that it will appear. So there you go. You can jump into the relevant, sorry, is that playing? Do I need to? Oh. It is, yeah, it's just brilliant. Thank you. So the dashboard, you can jump in and see organization by organization what kind of commitments they have made at a country basis, on a regional basis. There's filters at the top that can help you identify that. It looks at SDGs beyond SDG 4. So what are the other SDGs that are covered by the commitments made by the organizations represented? And it also then shares towards the end the various skills that are contributed as well. So you can do a deep dive into the kind of skills that are being showcased and shared through this initial phase 1 of the platform, which, like I said, has the 8 organizations. So if I look at what's coming next, is to mobilize new partners. So this will now, we'll have conversations with the other GSA members, the GEC members, and those organizations that are focused on SDG4 outside of the UNESCO family. So let's make sure that we can collate that information and share it through this fantastic platform. We will, of course, have some skills commitment framework and an impact framework available. So for those organizations that are setting out for the first time, looking at education and setting goals and targets, what's the best way to do that? With some best practice examples that can be used as well. And of course, as we love, celebrate progress and share those results. So I'll end just by encouraging those of you who are interested, or those of you who have education commitments, to reach out to UNESCO or to use this QR code behind me to get involved. We're all aware that a platform like this is only as good as the information that it contains. So it's up to all of us to input that information. UNESCO have built it, and we shall all come and upload that information, and we will see then year on year in real time, or close to real time through those reports that are released globally, the impact that we are collectively making in relation to SDG4. So thank you again to UNESCO.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Donna, and thank you, Hervé. And please scan the code and join the Skills for the Future initiative. Now we would like to invite a new partner also of the Global Skills Academy, and as part of these celebrations, we are going to announce this new cooperation framework that has two folds. One is the financial support to the scale-up of the Global Skills Academy, and the second one is the launch of a scholarship program that we are going to learn more about. And for that, I would like to invite Mrs. Eileen Sun from the China Pocy Group. She's the Executive Vice President, and please welcome.
Distinguished UNESCO officers, dear Soledad, thank you very much for inviting me to the spotlight session. Dear colleagues and young friends, good afternoon. I'm Sun Aiping, the Executive Vice President of China Pocy Group, which is a new member of GSA and a partner of GSA. At this special moment, it's a great honor for me to have the opportunity to share with you the practices of China Pocy Group in global education governance. As a leading investor in vocational education in China, Pocy Group is an outstanding partner of China's Ministry of Education, a global partner of CEAIE, and the founder of China Craftsman Valley, with two headquarters, one in Beijing and another one in Hong Kong. China Pocy has established a network rooted in China and connected globally. With 20 years in vocational education, China Pocy has invested in and developed 4 major vocational education towns, with total investment over $2.8 billion. Currently, China Pocy has 10 affiliated colleges and schools serving over 100,000 enrolled students. In support of the UN SDGs, China Pocy has donated over $2.7 million through its Craftsman Valley Funds in China. And we also helping over 200 rural students to access to free education. Today, as a commitment to global youth, I'm pleased to officially announce that the GSA and China Pocy will jointly launch the 100 Scholarship Initiative. This program will target disadvantaged youth from Africa, Latin America, and small island states. It provides full financial support, including tuition, accommodation, international round-trip tickets, and Chinese language instructions as well. The selected students will to study at the Craftsman Valley campuses in China. During 3 to 6 months in China campuses, enrolled students will benefit from bilingual Chinese and English instructions and practice training on the updated skills. For the 100 scholarship winners, more opportunities will be available for internships and employment with Chinese foreign joint venture enterprises inside or outside of China after completing this program. As the new member of GC and the partner of GSA, China Pocy is one of the first group members supporting GSA by financial contributions. We have been able to make extra contribution to GSA by initiating 100 scholarships program. With the program, we hope to see more and more young people study in China Craftsman Valley colleges. China Pocy will continue to seek close partnership with GEC members worldwide and encourage more and more educational institutions to participate in the global education governance of GSA. With all these efforts, it is our vision to make China Craftsman Valley a world youth skills destination. Next, we have a video about 1 minute to showcase the 100 scholarship. Please have a look.
In a world where distance divides, skills unite us. Pocy Group believes every talent deserves a stage, every dream deserves light. For decades, we've honored the spirit of Chinese craftsmanship, precision, persistence, and passing wisdom forward. Now, we extend this legacy to the world. Through the Skill Bridge initiative, we empower 100 future leaders from Africa and small island states. Full scholarships, cutting-edge training in China building, not just skills, but hope. Skills are the currency of tomorrow. Together with UNESCO, we invest in youth to fight climate change, drive innovation, and bridge civilizations, because shared progress is true progress. Empower skills, elevate humanity. The Public Welfare Force of China, Pocy Group, will take this as a starting point and expand its coverage globally in the future. Join us. Ignite potential. Transform our world-owned skill, one dream at a time.
You are most invited to visit www.pocy.com. Finally, I'd like to invite you to the Chinese Tea Party starting from 3:50 p.m. at the marketplace. We have prepared some small gifts for you. We can see you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sun. And now we go to the final stage of our spotlight session. And for this, we are going to hear from different voices. We're going to hear about the experiences from a member state and also from the GSA partners. We're going to have a look into the actions and some of the initiatives that we are deploying around the world with the Global Skills Academy. And finally, we will have an input and a perspective from one of the youth representatives we have here to conclude. And then we are a little bit ahead of delayed in our times, but then we can go to the lunch break finally. So please, now it is an honor for me to introduce to His Excellency, the Ambassador and Permanent Delegate of Kenya, Mr. Peter Ngure. Ambassador, please, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. I said good afternoon. Or you are annoyed with me. Okay. I stayed late tonight. I actually slept a few minutes to 4 a.m. preparing the speech that I want to read. Ordinarily, and I'm not saying it in a bad light, diplomats ask their staff to prepare the speech, then they come and read. But this one is different. I have input from Kenya's ambassador to technology, Dr. Filip. The day you'll meet him, you'll be very happy. And I also have input from my niece, who also kept me company, to make sure her uncle does not fall asleep while typing on his laptop. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished panelists, and dear colleagues, thank you, UNESCO-UNEVOC, the Global Skills Academy, and Dr. Bohan Shakron, who actually is my very good friend and partner, not just in this, but in many more occasions. I'm also honored to join representatives from Cisco, Huawei, Junior Achievement Aleph, Tablet Academy, among others. Kenya is one of the only 6 African countries that have completed and launched a national AI strategy. This actually happened in April 2025. This roadmap charts a course for the ethical, inclusive, and innovation-driven adoption of AI across government, industry, and civil society. Through this strategy, Kenya positions itself not just as a consumer of AI technologies, but as a shaper of ethical, context-aware, and African-led AI systems. Central to this strategy are our co-designed AI principles crafted in collaboration with the Department for Science, Innovation, and Technology, the British High Commission, and Ambassador Filip Thigo's team, which enshrine human-centered design, fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, non-discrimination, inclusivity, and sustainability as the cornerstones of every AI initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's demographic profile presents both challenges and opportunities, with a median age of 20, I said 20, and nearly 80% of our population are under 35 years. Every year, 800,000 young Kenyans enter the job market. I'm talking of a job market, but probably I should be saying the jobless market. Equipping these future leaders with AI and digital skills is crucial for accelerating youth employment, fostering entrepreneurship, and driving broad-based economic growth. Kenya is one of the few countries in Africa that has taken a systematic and evidence-based approach to AI readiness, and we have completed and launched a national AI readiness assessment methodology report, thanks to UNESCO, which outlines our strengths, opportunities for growth, existing gaps, and challenges that must be addressed to build a future-ready, inclusive AI ecosystem. We must invest across the full cycle of the AI, building robust data infrastructure, expanding compute capacity, nurturing talent, and fostering real-world use cases designed and led by youth innovators. Our AI factories partnership with Cassava Technologies and NVIDIA, for example, is already establishing regional GPU clusters to democratize access to high-performance computing for student-led projects in agriculture, health, and climate resilience. Moreover, through a collaboration between the Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy and World Bank, Kenya will recruit, I want to emphasize, Kenya will recruit 47 young AI leads to coordinate AI inclusion across the 1,450 constituency innovation hubs nationwide, ensuring local champions drive digital transformation in every community. In addition, we have trained over 75,000 public school teachers in digital literacy, ensuring the next generation gets a head start. With over 22,000 government services now digital, a while ago, 2 years ago, we were just above 1,000. So in the last 2 years, the government of Kenya has been able to scale up these government digital services from 1,000 all the way to 22,000 services online. You can check eCitizen if you doubt. We're ensuring that both citizens and institutions participate in and benefit from digital transformation. Further, our leadership in digital transformation is underpinned by robust infrastructure and policy alignment. Kenya has prioritized nationwide broadband, last-mile connectivity, powered by undersea cables and a growing network of community Wi-Fi hubs. We lead in the internet access and connectivity, with 75% of the population connected to electricity and 90% of that power sourced from renewables. We also offer off-grid solar solutions to keep digital learning centers running, ensuring a sustainable foundation for digital growth. We've invested significantly in schools, innovation hubs, digital hubs, and online learning platforms, all supported by a well-developed data and cloud infrastructure. Kenya is demonstrating how strategic infrastructure and funding can turbocharge its digital economy. Moreover, our policy and institutional frameworks are among the most advanced in Africa. We are not comparing with Europe, the Americas, and the others. You play in a different league, positioning us not just as adopters, but as architects of inclusive, ethical AI ecosystem. Kenya's progress in digital skills and AI future readiness is not only government-driven. Our vibrant private sector and public-private partnerships have played a central role in scaling digital capacity and inclusion. The key players, some of the key players include the Digital Transformation Center and GIZ. We are skilling thousands of young Kenyans in foundational ICT and emerging tech competencies. Microsoft's AI National Skilling Initiative. This one focuses more on AI and cyber security, and by now, they have been able to capacitate and upskill 200,000 learners. Their ambition is to reach a mark of 1 million. Cisco Networking Academy has trained over 130,000 Kenyan learners in networking, cybersecurity, programming, and other digital skills. UNDP's Center of Competence for Digital and AI Skilling is modernizing public sector capacities, while Google's Hustle Academy 2025 on past success has managed to train over 15,000 small and medium businesses since 2022. Others include Ajira Digital, Jitume Labs, Elimu, and Eneza Education. Of course, those words are not English words, they are translated from Kiswahili. In Kenya, private sector innovation is expanding access to digital and AI-related skills beyond urban centers. It is equally critical to open up resources, compute credits, patient capital, and mentorship to innovators in both urban and Kenya's most remote communities. We must deliberately close the digital divide so that the transformative potential of AI uplifts every region and every Kenyan rather than replicating existing inequities. One notable example is Huawei's DigiTrack initiative, which has trained over 4,000 young people in critical 21st century skills, including coding, online marketing, fraud prevention, and digital entrepreneurship. The mobile training model is bringing digital literacy directly to underserved communities, and more importantly, opening new job pathways in the evolving digital economy. Beyond skills and infrastructure, inclusivity and bias mitigation is embedded in every AI system we deploy. Our fair data principles guarantee community consent, local ownership, and equitable benefit sharing of data. As a potential use case, consider the Lake Turkana region. It's a very remote region in Kenya. By co-designing data collection protocols with indigenous elders and youth, we could preserve local languages, oral histories, ecological knowledge, demonstrating how AI can foster cultural and linguistic diversity rather than erode it. As we celebrate these gains, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate with humility that the Kenyan government cannot work alone. We need partners like KPMG, thank you so much, China, and others that we've seen on the board that can be able to work with us. In other words, I'm telling you in those many words, Kenya is a trailblazer in as far as AI and digital technology is concerned in Africa. We want to keep that lead, but because we also believe in Pan-Africanism, we do not want any country in Africa out of the 54 to remain behind. We are opening, we are open to scaling and also engaging ourselves with other countries and working collaboratively, not just in Africa, but beyond Africa. I've said all that, but allow me to say one last thing as I close my speech. In 1998, I bought an IBM computer. It was one of the best desktop computers because I wanted to start a small business in Nairobi. The IBM computer cost me 150,000 Kenyan shillings. If you want to know how much that was in 1998, some of you who are here present were absent, isn't it? I could have bought a 1 acre land, prime land, with 150,000. But that afforded me a very nice desktop that had a memory capacity of 1 GB. I thought that was small, only to meet my friend Sue, who I go to church with, and she said she has worked in this country and she was among the first engineers that worked on the first generation computers. And the first computer, Professor Sue, who is now retired, had a memory capacity of 64 MB. I'm looking at, in our lifetime, I think miracles have happened. That in the last 30 years, we can move from a 1 GB massive desktop computer. People envied me for owning that computer. Today, they laugh at me because it was not a wise investment. What am I telling you? You are on the cutting edge. The technology has been developed. Technology provides the best promise for creating jobs. Technology gives youth the independence they need. The beauty about technology is those of us who are on the 5th floor and above don't know so much, and the little we know cannot help us much. It gives you, the youth, that liberty and freedom you've been looking for. Your uncle, your grandfather cannot even know what you're doing if you're doing coding. And yet you can be able to do it from your bedroom and become a billionaire. You can be able to impact lives many kilometers away. Let's leverage on this and do it not just for yourself, not just for your county, not just for your country, not just for your continent, but for the whole world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for this very meaningful expression of experience and mostly about a concrete example of the needs that member states have and how we can collaborate and we can mobilize the partnerships to support them. So now in this note, I would like to invite the GSA partners that are going to present the accessible and impactful training offers and some very good examples that we have at the Global Skills Academy. Please, I would like to invite Mrs. Pallavi Malhotra from Huawei. She's the Director for Talent Alliance and Europe. Also, Mr. Bijay Dhungana, he is the Director of Tablet Academy Netherlands. Mrs. Diana Filip from Junior Achievement Europe. She is also coming with Mrs. Daniela Picciotto from Aleph. She's the Education Product Manager and Digital Ad Expert from this company. So please, I would like to welcome you to this last segment of the GSA session. As you can see, we have so much to tell, especially in this 5th anniversary, that this is why we are getting a bit long, but please bear with us so you can find out more, and then we're going to have a nice lunch and a nice time also to meet with each other. Please take the floor. I'll give you one and Bijay can speak.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm conscious everyone is thinking about lunch, so I'll do this very, very quickly. But I think the brief slide presentation I have will be shared, and if you want to go more in details about this, please do come and see me, and then we can talk about that. But what I wanted to do was start with the teachers, and I was very glad this morning everyone said, you know, the teachers. it's, the world needs teachers. And, if we are to meet our SDG goals for 2030, we need 80 million more teachers. So teachers are not going away. But I think what I want to do is share that we need AI to help teachers do more. And this is an initiative we started with our with our partners, and I think we have KPMG here, and we have UNESCO here, but we also have Microsoft, and I think Sweta, what I wanted to do was appreciate the support that Microsoft has been giving to us on this, and I wanted to look at how we are focused on teachers and how we can phase in the use of AI in teaching, because we need teachers to do more. And so what we have done with our partners is set some very achievable goals for the short to medium period. And I think the first thing is I wanted to emphasize that we need to appreciate digital skills and AI. But we can't use AI effectively, and we can't sustain our use of AI if we don't have the digital skills. And the best example I can give is a car. If I ask you, do you want a new car? You'll say, of course. But the question I should be asking you is, do you have a driving license to drive a new car? And that's what digital skills is. So our focus is on giving teachers the necessary digital skills so that they can effectively use AI and phase in AI in teaching. And why are we doing this? Because we have big ambitions. I think we want to help nearly 20 million learners get some form of certificate or even degrees in use of AI. But we're not going to be able to do that if the teacher are not in a position to phase in AI in teaching and also talk about AI itself. And the final thing I wanted to do was to confirm that this is a program we started last year. We started in Ivory Coast, in Ghana, and then I was recently in Kenya with Nakako's University and in the Kenyan School of TVET, and then also in India. And the initiative is the same, is how we can kickstart a master teacher training program to support the phasing in of AI in the education establishment. But there are some key challenges. And I think the first one is if the teachers don't have the basic digital skills, they're not going to be in a position to phase in AI in teaching. And then you can't really think about something structured, scalable, or sustainable. And the second thing we do need to emphasize is that with 21st century tools such as AI and its use in teaching, we must also adapt the role of teachers so that they transition from being a source of knowledge, like we always ask a teacher for information, to one of remote coach or mentor. And this is important because if we want a traditional teacher could only support 30 teachers in a classroom. In the modern world, we are asking our teachers to support 100, maybe 200 students at the same time. And so we need to be thinking about introducing personalized learning so that the teachers can be more effective in this environment. So I'm conscious that I'm running out of my 4 minutes, so I shall go through these things, and please come and talk to me about it. But the key is that along with helping the teachers have the necessary digital skills so they can phase in AI in teaching, we must also change the way we teach. And I think for the youth is to change the way we learn so that we learn online and then we come together to validate the learning outcomes. And that, I think, is the essential component that we must support the teachers to bring about. But what we have also done in each country is start a master teacher training program so that each teacher can teach other teachers to support the teachers and support the learners in terms of making use of AI, and to support other teachers to phase in AI in teaching. I'm going to go very quickly because I talked about digital skills, and this is what, for me, this is a starting point. What we have done in all the countries we mentioned is we have given the teachers an opportunity to see what are their current digital skills profile. And there are no right or wrong answers, but all it means is that you have the red, the orange, you have the green and the purple. And to make effective use of AI in teaching, you need to be in the green or the purple space. And if you're in the red or the orange space, then there are some specific courses you must do. So what we have done with the help of Microsoft is, in each of the areas that we have identified, such as in communication, if you are in the red zone, then you do the level 1 as a starting point to improve your digital skills profile. If you are in the orange zone, you do level 2, and so forth. But the idea is to make sure that all teachers have the same basic fundamental digital skills needed to make effective use of AI in teaching. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bijay. And now I would like to give the floor to Pallavi from Huawei. Thank you, Pallavi.
Thank you very much. I think maybe my head is covering the screen, so I can stand up and just use this. Yes. Come out of the way so you can actually see the screen. Okay, so first of all, happy World Youth Skills Day to everyone. And also a happy 5th anniversary to UNESCO GSA as well. Huawei has been working with UNESCO since 2019, and we've been working on a number of different collaborative partnerships. But I don't really want to talk about all of those because we have limited time. But the one that I do want to focus on, is a partnership with the GSA in creating a new project. So the UNESCO GSA Huawei ICT Academy. So GSA joined the ICT Academy program last year, and it was around April. So we've just gone over almost. So we're also celebrating this as well, partnership. And we've created a number of we selected, I should say, a number of courses together, and we make them available on the website. Now, there's 2 ways you can go onto these courses. One is you can actually just go onto the UNESCO website, and just if you don't know where to look, just search for UNESCO Huawei, UNESCO GSA Huawei, and you'll come onto the page. That page can direct you onto the Huawei's website. The links are at the bottom. I believe this will be shared with you at some point, so you'll be able to have those links. And we've selected a number of courses together, and we've made them available in 5 different languages. So what are these different courses? So we have 2 different categories of courses. We have general courses and we have professional courses. And whichever one you do, whether it's a general or the professional, students will receive a digital badge. So you can do self-learning. It could be, so my presentation, I should say, is directed at students and educators, but learning is a lifelong process, so it's really for everyone. So because today's theme is more around AI, I've highlighted in red the AI-related courses that are available on the general program, and then the professional courses. Now, the difference between these is that for the general ones, it's more of a taster program. So you can taste and try, is this for you? Is this what I want to progress on to the next level, to the professional level? So the professional ones, there are actually on the program, we have 250 plus courses. but there were certain ones that we selected, and these are the ones. And for the professional ones, these are the same courses that industry professionals take and have to take in order to be able to do a particular job. So most of the time people ask, yes, you've got AI course, but it's not just one general AI course. There's a number of aspects to what you have to learn about AI. So just to give you a flavor of the type of things that are covered, I won't go through all the details, but I welcome you to go onto the website and please explore for yourself. So here are the introductory type of courses and the type of content that's covered in these courses. Then here the professional course content and what is actually covered. Now for the professional ones, you can actually take an exam externally, and you'd not just get a digital badge on the program, but you also can take external certification, which provides you a 3-year certification, which is globally recognized in the digital sector as well. So what are we actually offering? What is this offer? It's free training resources open to all, based on some of the survey questions that were answered earlier, and our excellent presenters and everything that they've said. Well, this is what we want. So it's free courses open to all. And through the partnership with UNESCO GSA, we widen the participation. It's available in 5 languages. We provide digital badges, and up to now, 55 students have actually completed the courses and achieved a digital badge, which comes automatically, by the way, from an external website. We're providing through these courses employability skills, which is increasing job opportunities for young people. And this is what we need. So, and the opportunity to take the industry recognized certification. So it's about skilling, it's about reskilling, it's about upskilling. It's not just for young people, it's for everyone. So this is one project that we focused on, but I'd like to show you just 2 case studies on exactly what students are doing. So we've made the resources available and how are students using these resources to actually create their own projects. And they've been doing that through entering the Huawei ICT competition. So these were the different technology directions. Sorry, I should have put this slide in front of the other one. But here are the different certifications and the different technology directions that are offered by Huawei. And also on the platform, you'll also find a catalog and all the different courses and what languages they're available in as well. They're hyperlinked, so you can go directly to them. For teachers, I'd just like to quickly say there are 5 online books that can be downloaded and used as teaching resources as well. But that doesn't mean students can't also download them. So these are also available free to download. So I said that the students are making use of the resources and they're entering the Huawei ICT competition. We've been collaborating with GSA over the last 2 competitions on the 8th and the 9th in 2023-24 academic year and 24-25. And you can see how many students have actually participated, from 170,000 students, and on the last competition, 210,000. And I believe it's our partnership and widening of the participation through the GSA partnership that we've increased the number of students that are actually learning on the platform, making use of the resources, and also entering the competition as well. So it's been a great partnership, and I hope that it continues to develop and grow. So I want to give you 2 examples of students who and how they've actually used our resources and created projects. So for the competition, we have different levels: at national level, regional level, and global level. So I'll start with the global level winners from Serbia. These are a team of our brilliant 3 students who created, their project is called HemoNext. And it's all about an AI-based hemodialysis solution. So there is some information about this. I know we don't have time, but I'm sure you'll be able to actually read about this. So this is how they made use of it. But this competition provides a global platform for students to showcase their talent, showcase their skills, and actually kickstart their careers as well. So here they are at the in Shenzhen when they entered the global competition recently this May, and they won the grand prize for Europe. This is a description of what their project is about for hemodialysis. It takes away all of the sort of worries you have about how much knowledge an individual has, medical expert, we can say, but then it all depends. also on the patient's background, the size of the patient, the age of the patient, and how much fluid you're trying to extract. So AI takes away all of those issues, and people don't really have to worry about making a mistake. And it's given them global exposure. So these are just some. They've had about 61 articles written about them and interviews. They've been on TV. So it provides a lot of exposure for them, and it really sets their careers. And this is the second example. So this is the final one, and I'll finish after this. It is a young group from Turkey, from a vocational college. And there's a program, government program, and it's called GSA Academy, and it includes many different universities there. And this particular group won the regional prize, the grand prize at regional level, where they created an app where they could translate sign language into text and voice, and vice versa. So if you have hearing impairment, you can still communicate with people who do hear. And finally, the ICT competition, the new one will be launched very soon. So please, I encourage all young people who are listening today, please go onto the website, please use the resources, please learn, they're all free, and please enter the competition as well. And you could be on the screen next time.
Thank you very much, Pallavi. And now to highlight about the offer that we have in entrepreneurial skills, I would like to give the floor to Diana Phillips from Junior Achievement. Thank you, Diana.
Hello, everyone. I'm really honored to be here. Congratulations on the 5th anniversary with Junior Achievement Skills, to be part of it from the very beginning. I'm representing the European arm of Junior Achievement, but we are a global unit, and I'm going to tell you more about it. But I want to know how many of you know Junior Achievement. Okay, so I can say a couple of words, because we can definitely help you reach those goals much earlier. And I will tell you why. I chose to talk the topic of AI and entrepreneurship because we saw at the beginning when we presented the partners, the achievement piece linked with entrepreneurship, but we do a lot of things on digital skills as well. And this is an example of a project that we want to scale across the globe. So for the ones that doesn't know, Junior Achievement, we are the 5th global NGO. This is 1990, active over 100 countries. And you will see some numbers there that can really show that we could be the partner of choice from here to scale some of the initiatives. Because we work with 117,000 schools, 300,000 teachers, each every year, 17 million active. And Donna, you mentioned about partnerships. We are grateful to our collaboration in Latin America. We are really partnering together to advance digital skills and really bring activities to life. The same we are doing with Microsoft and with Accenture and Havana. We aim to reach 1.2 million young people in the next 3 years with digital skills. Sorry, do I need to start again or no?
Continue.
Okay. So we hope that those activities that we are doing in partnership with different members of the GSA can really help advance the big ambitions that we have. And another initiative that we are doing at the European level with a global impact as well is the Code Week initiatives, which is advancing digital skills to 25 million young people in the next 2 years. That's a big consortium. So I think if we join forces, we could do much more. But what I wanted to discuss today is a program that is very dear to us, because 5 years ago, when AI was still a taboo, we partnered with Intel with funding from the European Commission. That was the third forward-looking fund that they gave to combine our entrepreneurship methodology with AI. But we did it in a very systematic way, and I will show you the pathway, because a lot of time, if you don't make it relevant to young people and to the teachers to really understand how they can use it, it's very difficult for them to grasp it, or sometimes they are really afraid. I remember the first teachers, when they saw Python on a list, they were all scared. They were, no, we will not go into that direction. So you need to really
start educate them step by step and explain them how it works. So what we've done a pilot, we tested it with the students, with the teachers, and I'm pleased that even after that pilot, World Economic Forum found it one of the 8 best practices across the globe. So that best practice, we took it and we partnered with the European Institute for Technology in the food sector. So nowadays we have over 12,000 young people just this year that were combining entrepreneurship and AI in the food sector. And that course has been accredited. So this is available to expand it in all the sectors. We could go to the health sector, we could go to manufacturing and others, because it's really blending 2 methodologies of AI and entrepreneurship. And the way we do it is in a very systematic way. They go through the 52 hours of training where they learn to demystify AI. What is it, AI? And how do they build it into their entrepreneurial journey? How they can acquire, how they can inspire themselves, how they can really learn about the different types of data, how they can use the data when they are starting up their mini enterprise, how they can acquire further skills. And this is all they need to learn when I put a business plan together. Which AI tools can I use? How can they help me to prepare my presentation, my website, my branding, and all this? And then, of course, they need to learn how to embed Python and Jupyter into their things. But because they're learning in a very practical way, they don't see those 2 words taboo when you see the words, because they really get advice step by step, and they see how they can integrate it into their business. And they also understand that if they use it, they will be much more at hands with their mini companies, because the last thing is the empowerment, where we really ask them to go into competition, as you mentioned before. Go into the competition and show your creativity and your passion with what you've done. And we saw that we can really unlock a lot of potential with those kind of solutions. I'm gonna give you some examples. There are teams, the team that won this year is from Ukraine. Now you will say they had some difficult times lately. Well, they did manage to really do an amazing job combining AI with what they saw on the need to recognize plants, to determine their health, to understand the environment, the smell, and all those things that they are facing locally. So the way they really put together their business really impressed the juries, and they won this year. Another team that really impressed, another award, was from Albania. They were taking AI in the healthcare sector, really trying also to show how the use of it can really save lives. They are both purpose-driven projects and very much looking at what they felt locally. Either one of the member of the family of somebody was in need of something. So we really see that young people, if they unlock their potential, they can really achieve miracles. And they were so good. And these are just some examples from the startup, from the first phase. Now you ask us about the learnings. Of course, investing in schools and in community is very important. We heard from the previous speakers, we need to do that. How can we really bring AI into the classroom where it matters? And how do we really tell the teachers that they don't need to all know Python? We can bring the industry in the schools for that part. They don't need to transform themselves. They need to allow for flexibilities. That's where we want the governments and the school system to allow for flexibilities, to bring the industry into the schools in order to be able to facilitate this kind of learning, and to equip the teachers and the students with the relevant tools, licenses, certification, the previous speakers talked about that. And what we've done is really working with funds from the European Commission to unlock new investments. So the fact that we combine the AI training from Intel with our entrepreneurship model with funding from the EU, that means somebody's really looking that we are doing a good job, and that content is available for scale to really expand across the globe. I have a few more points there on the teachers. It's very important to have a peer, a trainer that can really relate to, and if they don't understand something on the way, they know that they can go to their trainer. And then, as I said, the collaboration with the industry is really key, because we cannot keep up. The teachers, by the time we train the teachers next year, the industry is already 10 steps ahead or even more. So they need to be the facilitators and allow for the industry to come into schools. And I think that's the role of GSA as well, to bring different players together that can have advanced digital and entrepreneurship skills to young people. So thank you so much. I wanted to share this, and I really hope we can scale it up together.
Thank you very much, Diana. And last but not least, I would like to give the floor to Daniela Picciotto from Aleph Holding.
Okay, thank you for inviting us to participate here. Hello, I'm Daniela. I'm the leader and responsible for Digital Ad Expert, which is an education initiative from Aleph Holding. And now I will explain a little bit more what do we do. Aleph is a global team of digital enablers that dedicate themselves to spread the digital word and make it accessible for all the markets in multiple regions. And how do we do this? By connecting worldwide audiences with businesses through digital advertising. In other words, Aleph is the representative of the main social media platforms in growth markets and connects audiences and advertisers with the main social media platforms, the ones that we all probably know. Aleph actually has multiple digital solutions for providing digital capabilities in multiple markets and in multiple regions. But today I will only focus on the digital skills education solution that Aleph provides through Digital Ad Expert. So Digital Ad Expert is an EdTech initiative whose purpose is to provide digital access to individuals and to equip people with all the capabilities needed to move from the offline world to the online world. And in that line, being able to unlock economic opportunities. And so far, we started with this project since 2021, and we've launched some different courses aligned with Aleph core business. Our trainings are mostly focused on digital marketing. And with the digital ad certificate, we've reached to more than 25,000 students who got certified. And thanks to our GSA initiatives, we'd had the chance to to develop initiatives in Grenada, in Ivory Coast, and create train the trainers, following the real need of training the ones who are training our students. We had the chance to develop the course and deliver it in 4 languages: English, Spanish, French, and Arabic, and in 2 formats: live sessions and self-paced formats. We also provide short courses for people interested in knowing how to deep dive on marketing performance. So we have more than 30 courses about the platforms that we represent. And for those courses, we have more than 190,000 courses completed. And I'm happy to share with you that we are about to launch, actually this week, we are launching the Digital Marketing and AI Certificate, which is our latest course that aims to bridge the gap between the need of digital marketers, professionals with AI knowledge, and we are working on this line. This training will provide students with the latest AI trends for them to enhance marketing strategies and marketing campaigns. We will teach them how to use AI for content creation, how to use AI for data analysis. We teach them how to write effective prompts for the whole marketing process. And last but not least, we also provide them tools for entrepreneurship, and we make sure that during the syllabus we address ethical and responsible use of AI, because we think that without that key content, we can't move forward using AI just as a simple tool. Here we have the details for the course. It's a self-paced course. It is 60 to 80 hours training. There are practical activities. There are quizzes for validating your knowledge. There is content created with generative AI, such as videos. And there are lots of interactive content for you to go ahead and get surprised. You will really love it. And students will get a certificate upon completion. And who are we going to address with this course, and who is eligible for getting certified on this course? Well, at the very beginning, we are going to offer our training to our digital ad certificate graduated students, meaning that we are going to offer it to more than 12,000 students in English and 12,000 students in Spanish. And of course, all other digital ad certificate students who are enrolled and are yet to complete it will also be able to enroll in this training. That I want to recap and remind that it's a training that has a full scholarship available, so everybody and anybody who is interested can just join. And just to finish, what can students expect from taking this course? Well, probably students might face new open positions and career opportunities in digital marketing, because they will know how to create products with AI and assets with AI. And we worked for trying to achieve this, and it's one of the most important things, that we like to equip students with self-sufficiency, so they can easily understand and keep on learning AI on themselves. And also we want them to cultivate a curious and proactive mindset, which is definitely necessary in this digital world that requires us to go, try, make errors, and try again. And that's what we are looking forward.
Thank you very much,
you.
Daniela. And thank you to all the speakers of this panel. I would like to say that we plan to have a discussion at the end, but as you know, we ran out of time. So I would like to propose to everyone to have a very engaging conversation during the lunch time, and that we get to interact. You can ask the questions to our partners, to the team, and mostly we can explore together how we can do more in order to build inclusive skills ecosystem, and especially focusing on this AI era and the AI-driven economies. And to finalize, I would like to give the floor to one of the youth representatives, because of course, today is about co-creating with youth. And so I would like to invite Abdulaziz to come and just give a final message, so then we can continue the conversations in person as proposed, and then go finally to the lunch break. Thank you, Abdulaziz, please.
First of all, thank you for the chance to give the, let's say, closing speech from the youth side. We wanted just to wrap up what we had in today. A lot of great, let's say, institutes and a lot of information that even us as youths are benefiting from. So I wanted to say that in today's session, we have shown the power of partnerships, not only across sectors, but also across generations. As a young engineer from the UAE, I have experienced firsthand how access to practical training and emerging technologies can transfer a life and inspire a future. Because I participated in world skills competitions, I went through this journey with Activate, and now I work in R&D. So, but millions of young people still face some barriers into connectivity, to resources, and to opportunity. If we truly want to shape ethical and inclusive digital futures, we must start by listening to the youth, like what we are doing today, investing in their potential, and designing systems that are responsive to the pace of the innovation today. The future is not tomorrow, it's already here. And I can finalize by giving a personal, let's say, note that I think in this era, AI is developing very, very quickly, and we need to try to follow up, whether it's in education or in new technologies. So I hope that this session was beneficial for everyone, and I look forward to having future sessions that could bring us all again to the same table. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Abdulaziz, and thank you very much to all. Thank you for the patience, and I invite you to keep exploring the Global Skills Academy. You can flash our QR code there, and I would like to invite everyone to now come to the lunch break, and then we can talk in person. Thank you very much.